Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you all so much for joining. We'll start with Mangalacharan. Sorry for a 5 minutes delay. And then we'll go ahead with our session. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurum militam yena tasmai Shri Guruve namaha. Śrī Caitanya-manobhishtam sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालय कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः आनंद लीलामय विग्रहाय हेमावदिव्य छवि सुंदराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रस प्रदाय चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपहतं हम वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्येश्वरम्. My humble obeisances to each and every one of you. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvaivacha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाए और ये संबद्ध वैष्णवंश की जाए. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाए. Thank you, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining for our this session of Caitanya-caritāmṛta. And now we are in chapter number 3. So we covered 4 Mangalacharan verses that were offered by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in this Adi lila of Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. So now we will be starting with the 4th verse of 4th Mangalacharan verse. So this was the end of the chapter. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Padayara asks Caitanya-caritāmṛta Kahe Krishnadas. So there we ended chapter number 2, and now we will be starting chapter number 3. As we have already said that in every chapter, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami starts with a Sanskrit verse. So wonderful Sanskrit verses have been reported composed by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in the start of every chapter. So this chapter also begins with Mangalacharan, with the Sanskrit verse, and this is Śrī Caitanya Prabhum Vande Yad Padashraya Viryata Sangrati Akarad Agnya Siddhanta Sanmanim. So what he's saying? Śrī Caitanya Prabhum Vande. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that I have offered my respectful obeisances unto Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. And I take Yad Padashra Viryataha, and I take shelter of his lotus feet. Viryataha Sangranati means by the power of Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is saying, Sangrati Akarad, Akara Vratad. Akara Vratad means from the multitude of minds in the forms of scriptures, Siddhanta. So there are so many Siddhantas, so many scriptures. And if you collect all those scriptures, Agnaha, even an ignorance, can collect money, can collect the best jewels from the conclusion of all the Siddhantas come together. So he's saying Agnya Siddhanta Sanmani. The best jewels can be collected by an ignorance person, by the power of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Even he can collect the best jewels from the minds of all the scriptures together. So he's saying, I offer my respectful obeisances to Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. By the potency of the shelter of his lotus feet, even a fool can collect the valuable jewels of conclusive truth from the minds of the revealed scriptures. Very, very beautiful verse quoted by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And now comes the fourth Mangalacharan verse. This verse is also very, very beautiful. And I hope we all are memorizing all the Mangalacharan verses. So we covered 3 Mangalacharan verses. Here comes the fourth. This verse is in the meter Prithvi, and it's a very beautiful meter as well as a very beautiful verse. Anarpita charim chirat karunavatirna kalau samarpaitumannatujvalarasam svabhakti shriyam haripurata sundaraditi kadamba sandipita sada hridaya kandare spuratu va shachinandana. So what in this, we'll read just the translation given by Srila Prabhupada, and then we'll go dive deep into this verse as Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami will be taking us. May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Shachi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost core of your heart. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he has descended in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before, the most elevated mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. So here we see the word Shachi Nandana. Now why? Actually, this verse is not composed by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. This verse is actually originally composed by Srila Rupa Goswami. When he was writing his Vidagdha Madhava Nataka, at that time he composed this verse. And this was the Mangalacharan verse of that Nataka. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has only taken that verse and has offered this verse as Mangalacharan verse in his Caitanya-caritāmṛta. So it's a very beautiful verse. Now here Srila Rupa Goswami, because we'll say Rupa Goswami because this was originally composed by Srila Rupa Goswami. So he uses the word Shachi Nandana. Now he can use so many names. He can use Gaurahari, he can use Gauranga, he can use Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Krishna Chaitanya. But he uses the word Shachi Nandana. So this is also a very important thing that we should try to understand, that Shri Krishna has many names. And out of those names, some are Gaunanam and some are Mukhyanam and Gaunanam. So that means some are primary names and some are secondary names. Krishna's secondary names are like we call him Jagat Pita, Jagannath, or we call him Parameshwar, Paramatma. These are all general names, some generic names, right? Like in the Mangalacharan verse also we say, Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Deena Bandhu, Jagat Pate. So these Karuna Sindhu, Deena Bandhu, Jagat Pita, all these are his Gaunanam or secondary names. But Krishna also has some primary names. And these primary names are normally associated with Krishna's devotee. Like we see, Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha, Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namastute. So Gopesha, where we remind Krishna that you are the Lord of all the Gopas. Gopika Kanta, you are very dear to all the gopis. Radha Kanta, you are dearmost to Srimati Radharani. So when we call out such names, when we call him as Yashoda Nandan, when we call him as Nanda Nandan, we call him as Radhika Vallabh. So all these names remind Krishna of his dear devotees. Now, it's not that Krishna ever forgets his devotees, but it's that when we call out him with these sweet names, then Krishna is reminded, specially reminded of that particular devotee, and Krishna is very much pleased. So here Srila Rupa Goswami is also taking this and he is calling him as Shachi Nandana. Nandana means the son of Mother Shachi. Now, as soon as he called him as Shachi Nandana, Mahaprabhu is reminded of his relationship with Mother Shachi and he's very, very pleased. So this is the Mukhya Naam by which we can call out to Mahaprabhu and Mahaprabhu is very, very pleased. So he's saying Shachi Nandana. Now he's saying Sada Hridaya Kandare Spurato Va Shachi Nandana. May Sada means always. Always this Shachi Nandana, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Spurato means that Spurati comes, the remembrance of Shachi Nandana comes in the caves, Hridaya Kandare. Kandare refers to the caves of heart. May Shri Sachinandana, the remembrance of Sachinandana is always there in the caves of the heart, of whom? Vah. He is using Vah, in the core of your heart. So normally when the composer, when the author composes some verses, he will ask benediction for himself. But here Srila Rupa Goswami is composing this verse and he is asking these benedictions for all of us who will be reciting this verse in future. So he's saying Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuratu Vah Shachinandana. That may the remembrance of Shri Shachinandana comes to our heart in the caves of our heart who are reciting this verse. So Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuratu Vah Shachinandana. May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Shachi, the Srimati Sachi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost core, Hridaya Kandare, of your heart. Vah Shachinandana. So this way he's asking this benediction from Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Now he will be explaining. This verse also explains the external reason for Mahaprabhu's appearance. So we'll go one by one, the words, and we will see. Anarpita Charim Chirat. This verse starts with. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he says, he mentions that Chirakala nahi kari prema bhakti dan. Bhakti vina jagat tera nahi avasthan. For a long time, I have not bestowed unalloyed loving service to me upon the inhabitants of the world. Without such loving attachment, the existence of the material world is useless. So Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he mentions that Lord Shri Krishna is the king of Vraja. He is the supreme Lord and he enjoys his transcendental pastimes in his eternal abode, that is Goloka Vrindavan, and which is in the spiritual world. But from there, once in a day of Brahma, he descends to the world to manifest his transcendental pastimes. And we know that one day of Brahma is actually the 4 ages, means one Divya Yuga. So one Divya Yuga is one Satya, one Treta, one Dwapar, and one Kali. These 4 together constitute one Divya Yuga. And in one Divya Yuga, there are how many manvantras? There are 14 manvantras in one Divya Yuga. So, sorry, in one Divya Yuga, there are in together, one Divya Yuga and thousands of such Divya Yugas makes one day of Brahma. And in one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus. Please excuse me. Okay? So I'll repeat. So one Divya Yuga is one Satya, one Treta, one Dwapar, and one Kali. Together, four of them aggregate, constitute one Divya Yuga. And thousands of such Divya Yuga makes one day of Brahma. And in that one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus. And 71 Divya Yugas constitute one Manvantara. So one Manu's reign is around 71 Divya Yugas. And at the end of the Dwapar Yuga, of 28th Divya Yuga. So how many Divya Yugas are there? 71 Divya Yugas in one day of Brahma. So after 28th Divya Yuga, Lord Shri Krishna, he appears on earth with his full potency and with his full paraphernalia in Vrajdham. And there, Lord Shri Krishna enjoys his eternal pastimes. And while enjoying his eternal pastimes, he has a relationship with all his associates. And those associates have various rasas like servitude, dasya rasa, sakhya rasa, vatsalya rasa, shringara rasa, madhurya rasa, that is. And there are many other secondary rasas also. So all the devotees, they are so much absorbed in these rasas that Lord Shri Krishna is subdued by the love of those Vrajavasis. He forgets that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he enjoys those beautiful rasas with all these Vrajavasis in his devoted servants and friends and parents and conjugal lovers. So when Shri Krishna enjoys his eternal transcendental pastimes, and then finally, after performing these pastimes, he disappears. He goes back to his abode. After disappearing, when he disappeared, he thinks, Chirakala nahi kari prema bhakti dan. That when I was Lord Shri Krishna and when as Lord Shri Krishna, when I descended to this earth, I explained in Bhagavad Gita that Sarv Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. That I explained that, oh, please abandon all the irreligion and surrender unto me. But I have never explained how to surrender. And then he says, Chirikal, for a very, very long time, I have not even given my own prema bhakti dan. I have not bestowed this unalloyed loving service to me. And bhakti vina jagatera nahi avasthan. And if just by saying that surrender unto me and not explaining how to surrender, these devotees, these people, these jivas of especially this Kali Yuga, they will not have any loving attachment. Bhakti vina, they will not perform any spontaneous bhakti towards me. And if they don't perform, jagatera nahi avasthan, then their existence of this material world will become useless. Because none of the soul, none of the jiva will come to me. Because they don't know how to perform. And neither I have given my own loving devotional service to them. So what I have done is nothing. And therefore, I have to do something. So this is the thought process that is going on in the heart of Shri Krishna when he winded up his pastimes in Dwapar Yuga and went back to his abode. Then Krishna is saying, Samarpayitum unnata jvala rasam. So what I have not given, Chirikal anarpitam charim chirad. I have not given my unalloyed devotional service. But in what form? In the form of unnata jvala rasam. I have not given them the madhurya ras. I have not given them the shringar ras. Yes, they may bow down to me out of fear or out of my magnanimity of that I am the Ishvara, or they may bow down to me with awe and reverence. But how will they develop that loving relationship with me? And that loving relationship in the form of Ujjwal Rasa, in the form of the highest conjugal love, How will they come to me? How will they approach me? They need to have this. They need to have that spontaneous, loving, devotional service to me. And there, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami quotes this, Sakala jagate kar mora kare vedi bhakti, vidhi bhakti vraja bhave, paite nahi shakti. That the entire world will bow down to me for my Ishwartva, for my Bhagavatva, that I am the Supreme Lord in awe and reverence. But with that, they will never come to my abode. They may go to Vaikuntha, they may land up to Vaikuntha, but none of the Jiva will come to Golok Vrindavan. Sakala jagate more kare vedi bhakti, vidhi bhakti. If somebody is performing this vidhi bhakti, these rules and regulations, this sadhana bhakti, vraja bhave, they will not come to vraja bhav, paite nahi shakti, and they will never come to vraja bhumi. So in order to invite everybody to Golok Vrindavan, Krishna thought, I personally have to give this Unnat Ujjvala Rasa. I have to personally bestow what I have not bestowed for a very, very long time. Now is the time that I have to bestow this rasa, this relationship, this mellow to all the jivas of Kali Yuga. Everywhere in the world, people worship me according to scriptural injunctions. But simply following such regulative principles, one cannot attain the loving sentiments of the devotees in Vrajabhumi. So therefore, he thought, now this is the time. So then what happened? Swabhakti Shriyam, to give his Swabhakti, his own bhakti, the treasure. Shriyam means the treasure of his own bhakti. Krishna thought, now is the time. ऐश्वर्य ज्ञानेता सब जगत मिश्रीता ऐश्वर्य स्थिला प्रेमे nahi mora prita. See, knowing my opulences, the whole world will look upon me with awe and reverence, with Aishwarya Gyan. But devotion made feeble by such reverence does not attract me. If anybody approaches Krishna with Aishwarya Shakti, with Aishwarya Gyan, then naturally they'll land up in Vaikuntha. Because Vaikuntha is the place where Krishna is in all opulence, with his Aishwaryatva. So there, Krishna is worshipped in awe and reverence. But Aishwarya sthila prema nahi mori prita. But Krishna is not happy with Aishwarya bhav. Krishna needs the chastisement of Mother Yashoda. Krishna needs the rebuke of his own cowherd boys. Krishna wants the man that the gopis have, especially Srimati Radharani when she gets upset with Krishna. All these things pleases Krishna the most than the Purusha Shuktas that had been sung by Brahma and other demigods. So Krishna says that without devotion made feeble by such reverence, I will not be attracted to them, and neither they will come to my Golok Vrindavan. Why? Because Aishwarya Jnane Vidhi Bhajana Kariya Vaikuntha Thake Jaya Chaturvidha Mukti Paya. Because with Aishwarya Gyan, in Aishwarya Gyan, performing any Vidhi Bhajan, if somebody is performing this Vaidhi Bhakti, they will go to Vaikuntha and they will achieve the Mukti path. They will attain the 4 kinds of liberation. And what are the 4 kinds of liberation that one gets? Is the liberations of Sharshti. Sharshti means having the same opulence as that of the Lord. They will achieve the liberation, the Mukti of Sarupya Mukti, having the same form as that of the Lord. They will achieve the Samipya Mukti, means they will be a personal associate of the Lord in Vaikuntha. Or they will achieve Salokya Mukti, living in Vaikuntha planet. So what are the 4? Sashti, Samipya, Sarupya, and Salokya. But devotees, they don't want any of these. And there is another actually Mukti, that is Sayujya Mukti. And that Sayujya Mukti is coming in oneness with the Brahman, merging into that Brahman effulgence. And definitely devotees reject this kind of Mukti. But at the same time, the devotees do not hanker for all the above mentioned 4 Muktis. That is Sashti, Sarupya, Samipya, and Salokya. But Krishna is saying that with Aishwarya Gyan, if somebody is performing some devotional service unto me, then in awe and reverence, they will go to Vaikuntha and they will achieve these four kinds of liberation. But this is not what Krishna is looking for. So therefore, this is one of the external reason of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, that is Karuna Avatirna Kalau, that in Kali Yuga, Lord Shri Krishna thought that this is the time. What I have not bestowed, Anarpitam Charim Chirat, what I have not bestowed for a very long time, now I want to be compassionate compassionate enough, Karuna, Avatirna, I have to come down, I have to incarnate in this Kali Yuga, Kalau. Samarpayetu Unnata Jwala Rasa, so that I can give this Unnat Ujwala Rasa of my own bhakti, Swabhakti Shriyam, the treasure of my own bhakti, so that the devotees can perform these different mellows with me and they can come back to me in Golok Vrindavan. So this was the first external reason of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, where he thought, Yoga Dharma Pravartaimu Nama Sankirtana Chari Bhava Bhakti Dhyana Chamu Bhuvana. That now already the yuga has also changed, because now from Dwapar is Kali Yuga. So Avatirna Kalau, that in this Kali Yuga, now Krishna is thinking that I have to establish a Yuga Dharma also. So every Yuga has its own Dharma. Like we have Satya Yuga. In the Satya Yuga, the Dharma of getting self-realized is through meditation. In Treta Yuga, it was through sacrifice. In Dwapar Yuga, it was through deity worship. But now is the Kali Yuga, and Krishna has to establish this Yuga Dharma. So he says, now I will personally inaugurate in this age of Kali. What I have to establish? I have to inaugurate this Yuga Dharma. And Yuga Dharma of Kali is Nama Sankirtana, the congregational chanting of the holy name. And in this way, what I will do, that through the chanting of the holy name, I will bestow my own Swabhakti Shriyam, the treasure of my own bhakti, by which the entire world, Nachamu Bhuvana, the entire world will dance and will establish the four mellows of devotional service. Chari Bhava means that is Dasya Bhav, Sakhya Bhav, Vatsalya Bhav, and Madhurya Bhav. They will develop these four mellows of loving devotional service simply by dancing in the congregational chanting of the holy name. And I personally will inaugurate this Yuga Dharma in Kali Yuga and will come as Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And not only that, what I will do is, Apane Karimo Bhakta Bhava Angikare, Apane Achari Bhakti Sikhayuno Sabare. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not a mere mortal soul like all of us, where we have a real life and a real life, where we are something different when we are on YouTube and we are giving some classes. But when it comes to our real life, we are altogether different personality. But Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, when I will come and when I will establish and inaugurate this Nama Sankirtan, this Yuga Dharma, then I will walk my talk. I will first do myself, and through my actions, I will explain others also to engage in this Nama Sankirtan. Apana Karimu Bhakta Bhava Angikare, that I will accept the role of a devotee. I will not come as the Supreme Lord now. Enough, I have been there. I have been there in various incarnations, but now this is not the time where I will accept this Bhagavatva. And now what I will do is, I will come as a devotee, as a bhakta I will come. And apana achari, and doing my achar, the way the people will see me, I will exemplify myself, that just by seeing me, they will come to know how to perform devotional service. Because I myself will practice. Bhakti sikhaimu sabare. Apne achar ke saath means first I will perform, and seeing me, people will get inspired to perform this devotional service. So I'll practice it myself and then I will teach others. See, unless one practices devotional service himself, it is very hard to teach to others. Now, this is actually the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna time and again says, Yad Yad Achrati Shreshtha, that you have to first exemplify yourself and then you are entitled to teach or preach. If we are not practicing ourselves, and if we think that just by giving certain classes or preaching others will influence others, it won't. Externally, it can for some extent, but it will not show the real impact on others. The real impact, if we want for others, then first we should practice what we preach. And that's what Srila Prabhupada says, that you have to walk your talk. These pure devotees, when we hear to their lectures, why there is transformation in our heart? Because they are pure devotees, and their purity and whatever they are preaching, first they are practicing and then they are preaching. So what is happening? Their purity is getting rub on us, and therefore we feel transformation in our heart. But when we hear others' lectures, like if you attend my classes, then definitely that transformation won't come, because I am myself is not that much pure. I don't walk my talk. But Krishna is saying that you should walk your talk in order to give impact on others. Therefore, time and again we say, please make it a point to hear Srila Prabhupada's lecture every day, to hear Srila Gurudev's lectures every day, so that even for 5 minutes, even for 10 minutes, and Prabhupada lectures are almost for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, he doesn't go beyond that. So if we hear their lectures, that will really bring transformation in our heart, because they are pure devotees. So here Krishna is also saying that unless I myself will show by practicing myself, others will not be able to understand. There will be no impact in them. So I personally have to come and have to practice this devotional service. Then somebody can say, well, Krishna, your plenary portions come and they teach the principles of religion and for every age. But why personally this time you have to come? He says that no, to bestow loving service, I have to come and I have to teach, to perform these loving service as the Vrajavasis they used to do. So therefore, he says, showing his exemplary nature. Apana na khile dharma sikhanu na jaya, eita siddhanta gita bhagavata gaya. Unless we practice devotional service himself, he cannot teach it to others. And this is the conclusion throughout Gita and Bhagavatam. Therefore, Krishna thought, tahate apana bhakti gana kari sange, prithviyete avatari karimu nana range. Therefore, tahate apna bhakti gana Kari Sange, taking the association, taking the company of my own Bhaktaganas, of my own devotees, Prithvi te avatari karimu nana range. I will personally come, appear on earth and perform these wonderful pastimes, these colorful pastimes, nana range. Srila Rupa Goswami is saying, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he's saying, Prithvi te avatari karimu nana range, these colorful pastimes, because the pastimes of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna, they are full of variegatedness, they are full of colors. So therefore he's saying, Prithvi te avatari karimu nana range, I will personally come and perform these various colorful pastimes by showing my exemplary nature. So this is how our Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu comes and takes up, Krishna comes as Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu and takes up the role of a devotee. Karuna vatirna kalau, eta bhavi kali kale prathama sandhaya, avatirna haila Krishna apanina diya. Haribol, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu appearance ki jai. Thus thinking this way, the personality of Godhead Shri Krishna himself, eta bhavi, this bhav, that what I have not given for a very, very long time, my own Swabhakti Priya, the treasure of my own bhakti which I have not given, the Unnat Ujjvala Rasa that I have not given, and also to establish this Yuga Dharma, I personally come. This Bhav Krishna is developing, and then in Kali Yuga, in the most degraded age, but in the Pratham Sandhyaya, means in the start of Kali Yuga. So we discussed that every yuga has three sandhya. The first sandhya, where the previous yuga is ending and the new yuga is starting. That is the Prathama Sandhya. Then we have the peak of that yuga. And finally, we have the Tritiya Sandhya. That is when the yuga is ending and another yuga is starting. Okay. So this is the Prathama Sandhya in the early age of Kali. Avatirina Haila Krishna. Krishna comes. He himself descends. Where? In Nadia, as Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And then the verse continues. He says Hari. If you see the verse, let me go back to the verse. Sorry. I should have made one more slide there so that I don't have to go back. But this was the verse. Anarpita charim chirat karuna vatirna kalau. So all these we saw. Samarpayitu munnatujjvala rasam swabhakti shriya. This also we saw. Now he is giving Hari Purata Sundara Dviti Kadamba Sandipita. So he will be explaining the word Hari now. Okay. So we saw this external reason. Now he is explaining the word Hari. So Hari actually means the Supreme Lord. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Hari Shabde Nana Arthe, Dui Mukhyatam. So Hari, the word Hari has Nana Arthe, has various meanings. But Dui Mukhyatam, what are the two main meanings of Hari? Sarva Amangala Hari, that it takes away all the inauspiciousness, Sarva Amanga Hare, and Kare Premadhan, and gives Prema Bhakti. So that is the real meaning of the word Hari. But Hari also means lion. So here, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, our Krishna has appeared in Nadia as Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is calling him as Hari. Hari also means lion. So he's saying, Chaitanya Simhera Nava Dvipa Avatara Simha Griva Simha Virya Simhera Hunkara. So why he's calling him as lion? Because he's saying, Chaitanya Simhera Navadvipa Avatara. Now in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has appeared in Navadvipa and he is like a lion. He is like a Hari. Why? Because Simha Griva, he has the shoulders of that of a lion. Simha Virya, he has the power of that of the lion. And Simhera Hunkara, he has a loud voice of that of a lion. So much so that Sei Simha Vasujjivera Hridaya Kandare Kalmasha Dvirada Nashe Jahara Hunkare. He has this hunkar, his voice as that of Simha, that when this Simha takes shelter, gets seated in the Hridaya Kandare, in the core of the heart of the Jivas, then Kalmasha Dvirada Nashe Jahara Hunkare. Then all the Kalmasha, all the vices, all the sufferings, all the distress in the heart of that devotee gets gets destroyed, because Mahaprabhu, when seated in the core of the heart of the living entity, he Jahara Hunkare, he roars like a lion. So, when in the jungle also, when the lion comes and he roars, then all the elephants, all the small animals, they run away. Why? Just by hearing the hunkar of that lion. Similarly, Mahaprabhu is saying, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that when this Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, lion like Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, is seated in the core of the heart of all the jivas and he roars like a lion, then all the vices which are like the elephants, they are driven away. Kalmasha Driveda Nashe Jahara Hunkare, wherever Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu roars, then all the vices, the elephants like vices, they are driven away. So we should always invite Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu to come and recite in our heart. When Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu recites and he hunkars and he does the hunkara, then all the vices will be gone. So this is the meaning of Hari. So how many meanings we saw? Chaitanya Simhera Navadvip Avtara Simha Griva, having the shoulders that of a lion, because lion have a broad shoulders and a thin waist. Similarly, our Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu has broad shoulders and a very thin waist. So Simha Griva, he has the shoulders that of a lion. Simha Virya, he has the power of that of the lion, and his voice is also that of Simha, like that of a lion. That when he roars, all the anarthas goes away. And Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu appears in March. Recently, we celebrated the appearance day of Mahaprabhu. But our Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also writes that actually Prabhupada writes in the start of this chapter that when Mahaprabhu appears, it was the Leo Nakshatra, the Leo constellation, and Leo is Simha. So the Singha constellation, the lunar sign was Simha, and therefore also he is known as Hari. So these are the various reasons that is being explained. Now let's go to the next. Purata. Hari Purata Sundara Dviti Kadamba Sandipita. That was the entire line. So Mahaprabhu, he's saying that now what happened is Tapta Hema Samakanti Prakanda Sharira Nava Megha Jini Kantha Dhvani Ei Gambhira. So Tapta Hema means his complexion was that of gold, molten gold. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. Right? Because Mahaprabhu has taken, Krishna has taken the complexion of Srimati Radharani. So that Krishna who is blackish, now in Kali Yuga has taken the color of Srimati Radharani, and therefore his hema, his luster is like tapta hema, like a molten gold. Samakanti. Samakanti means his kanti, his luster is like a tapta hema. Hema means gold. Tapta hema means the molten gold. And the word purata also means molten gold. So Hari Purata, he is Hari, and also his complexion is molten gold. Prakanda Sharira, and his body is enormous. That we have already seen, that he has a lion-like body. A very, very powerful body he has. Navamegha Jini, Kanti Dhvani, Gaita Gambhira. And he has the deep sound of the deep sound of his voice conquers the newly assembled clouds, the thundering of newly assembled clouds. Navamegha, Megha means the clouds. Now the clouds are there, and the newly fresh monsoon clouds, they are blackish in color. But when they are ready to give rain, before giving rain, they collapse with each other. And there is a long thundering noise that comes. That is the thunder. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that thunder is feeble in front of Mahaprabhu's voice, because Mahaprabhu's voice is deep, as deep, means more than deep than that of the thundering of the clouds, the newly assembled clouds. So that's how his name is Purata. Purata refers to molten gold. Now Sundar Dviti Kandam Vasam Deepitaha. So this is actually the glorification of Mahaprabhu's beauty only. That how Mahaprabhu is very beautiful. Purata means gold and Sundara means very, very beautiful. Dviti means his splendor. And Kadamba Sandipita means his his effulgence is so illuminated with the multitude of Kadamba Sandipita. Multitude of illumination comes when Mahaprabhu appears. So his luster is being described. And now his beauty, Sundara Dviti Kadamba Sandipita, is being described, that how his form was. Ajanulambita bhuja kamala lochana tilapula jininasha sudham suvandar vadana. So Ajanulambita, his arms extend down to his knees. That's also the sign of a Mahapurusha. So when we stand, our arms doesn't touch the knees. But the significance of a Mahapurusha's body is that when the Mahapurusha stands, his arms extend down to the knees. Kamala Lochana, and his eyes is like Kamala, like a lotus. Tilapula, and Tilapula Jini Nasa, and his nose is like a Tilapula, like a sesame flower. So Pula means the flower, Tila means the sesame. So if you see the sesame flower, that's how the nose is of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Sudhamsu Vadana, and his face is just like a moon. Sudhamsu Vadana. Vadana means his face. His face is exactly like the moon. So his arms are long enough to reach the knees. His eyes are just like a lotus flower, Kamala Lochana. This is the beauty, Sundara Dviti Kadamba Sandipita. This is the beauty that is being described by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Tilapula Jini Nasa. Nasa means his nose is like a sesame flower. Tilapula. Tila refers to sesame. Sudham Suvadana, and his face is as beautiful as the moon. And now, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami will explain this beauty that is there in Dhana Dharma of Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra, which is recited by Srila Bhishma Dev. So Varna Varna Hemango Varnangas Chandangadi Sannyasa Krichama Shanto Nishtha Shanti Parayana. So Bhishma Dev, when recited this Vishnu Sahasranam, he gave this hint of the appearance of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And he says, in his early pastimes, he will appear as a householder with a golden complexion. So our Mahaprabhu as Vishwambara also appear as householder. His limbs are very beautiful, Ajanulambita, and his body is smeared with the sandalwood pulp. Swarna Varna Hemangu Varnangas Chandanagadi means his body is smeared with chandan, with the pulp of sandalwood. Seems like a molten gold. In his later pastime, Sannyasakrich, he will accept the sannyasa order and he will be very equipoised and peaceful. Nishtha Shanti Parayana. He is the highest abode of peace and devotion, for he silences the impersonalist devotees. So this has already been explained by Srila Bhishma Dev in Vishnu Sahasranam. This is the, one of the proof, the evidence of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. Another from Srimad Bhagavatam that Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami quotes, the famous verse, Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagnahi Sankirtanai Prayar Yajantihi Sumedasa. That Krishna will come as Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and how his Varnam refers to color. So Varnam, refers to syllable. So Krishna Varnam, he will be, Varnam refers to two meanings. One meaning is the syllable, Varna, right? Like in Hindi, we have Varnamala. So Varna, the syllable will be Krishna, because non-stop he will be chanting the names of Krishna, 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 Krishna. So because he will be calling out these two syllables, Krishna, so he will be calling out. So therefore Krishna Varnam, he will be calling out the names of Krishna. And another meaning of Varna refers to the caliber. So that personality means Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu will be the caliber of Lord Shri Krishna. Means he will be non-different from Lord Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, nahi anya. So he will be the caliber of Krishna. Then comes that, will he be Krishna only? No. Then he says, Tvisha a Krishna. His body will not be of Krishna. Means his body will not be blackish. His body will be a Krishna. Means will not be black, but it will be a molten gold. Sango Pangastra Parshadam. And he will come with his companion, Sango Pastra Parshadam. So, first of all, the two syllables Krishna will always be in his mouth. He will be always describing Krishna. And of course, he will be the caliber of Lord Shri Krishna. But his complexion will not be that of Krishna. And then what he will do? He will come with his Parshad. So Krishna, when he comes in other ages, he has different weapons with him. He brought various weapons, but this time, Krishna, when he comes as Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he will destroy the ignorance of all those sinful life of all the living entities with the weapons of his personal associates, his devotees, and of course his holy name. And therefore, he will be Sango Pangastra Parshadam. And what he will do? Yagnahi Sankirtanai Prayar. And he will establish this Yagna, this Sankirtan Yagna. That is the congregational chanting of the holy name. He will come and he will give this Sankirtan Yagna and Yajantihi Sumedasa. And those who are very, very intelligent, they will worship him. So in the age of Kali, intelligent persons, Sumedhasa, not Medhasa, Medhasa means intelligent, but Sumedhasa, very intelligent persons, they will perform Yagna Sankirtana. They will perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of God, who constantly sings the name of Krishna, Krishna Varnam. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and his confidential companions. So raising his arms, chanting the holy name, and looking upon all with that deep love, with that compassionate heart, he drives away all the sins and he will flood everybody with Krishna prem, with love of Godhead. In other incarnations, the Lord descends with armies, with weapons. But in this incarnation, his soldiers are his plenary parts and associates. Now, after describing this, so he will come, but he will come as Bhakta Bhav. He will take the Bhakta Bhav, means he will take the form of a devotee. But still, he will not be able to hide himself from his devotees. The Lord cannot hide from his devotees, though he will come as Channa Avatar, as hidden incarnation. Because normally it says that Krishna comes in 3 Yuga, right? But in Kali Yuga, it's nowhere mentioned that Krishna comes. But he comes as Channa Avatar and he cannot hide from his devotees. Apana lukaita Krishna nana jatna kare tathapi tahara bhakta janayata hare. Lord Shri Krishna tries to hide himself in various ways, but nevertheless his pure devotees know him as he is. So he won't be able to hide. So when Mahaprabhu also comes through Caitanya-caritāmṛta, and future we'll be reading that Mahaprabhu tried to hide himself, that he is not Krishna, but the pure devotees of the Lord, the associates of the Lord, understood that he is non-different from Krishna. Asura svabhave Krishna kabhu nahi jane lokaite nare Krishna bhakta jana sthane. Those who are in Asura bhav, even though Krishna personally comes, still they will not recognize him as the Supreme Lord. And we saw when Krishna came in Dwapar Yuga, all the Asura Bhava devotees, all the demoniac devotees, all the demoniac personalities like that of Duryodhan, Shishupal, and this Shakuni, they were not able to see Krishna as the Supreme Lord. They consider him as an ordinary human being only. So Asura Bhave, Swabhave Krishna, Kabhu Nahi Jane. Developing this demonic mentality, one cannot know Krishna at any point of time. Lukaite nare Krishna bhakta janasthane. And to bhakta jana, to his devotees, even if he tries to hide himself, they will recognize that he is my Supreme Lord. So apana lukaite Krishna, nana jatna kare. Even he can try thousands of means, hundreds and thousands of means to hide himself, still he will not be able to hide. And this is the reason, but there is another reason. So first reason we saw that why Mahaprabhu comes, one of the external reason is to establish Yoga Dharma. But then there is another reason, another external reason of Mahaprabhu's appearance. And that reason is on the call of Advaita Acharya. So our Advaita Acharya, when he appeared, he found that the entire world was devoid of devotional service to Lord Shri Krishna, because people in Navadvip, they were engaged in all the material affairs. Everyone was engaged in some kind of material enjoyment. They were virtuous, but at the same time, they were performing some sinful activities. No one was interested in devotional service. They were doing some other worship of demigods, but they were not interested in pure devotional service. And if they will not indulge in the pure devotional service, they will never get relief from the cycle of birth and death. So seeing the activities of the world, Sri Advaitacharya, he felt very compassionate in the heart. And he then began to ponder that how could I free these people from these sinful activities that they are performing, and how I can establish pure devotional service in their thought. So this way, when Advaitacharya was thinking, he thought, well, this is not my work. I'll not be able to do. Lord Shri Krishna personally has to appear in this Kali Yuga, and by his own personal example, he has to teach the people of Kali Yuga that there is no other religion superior than to chanting the holy name of the Lord. And this is actually the Yoga Dharma. And to establish this Yoga Dharma, Lord Shri Krishna personally has to come. Now then he thought, I shall worship Krishna in a very purified state of mind, and with utmost humbleness I will call upon the Supreme Lord. And while he was thinking, he came across this beautiful verse from Gautamya Tantara, where it says, Tulsi dala matrena jalasa chulukena va vikrinite swam atmanam bhaktebhyo bhaktavatsala. He came across this verse which says Tulsi dala matrena, that just matrena means only by taking tulsi dal. What is tulsi dal? The water with tulsi leaf. Jalasya chulukenava. And if somebody offers this tulsi dal to Lord Shri Krishna, how much? Chulukena means the water that our palms can hold. A palm full of water, if somebody offers to Krishna. And what water? This water which is mixed with tulsi. So it becomes a tulsi dal. If somebody offers this palm full of water, tulsi dal, to Lord Shri Krishna, Vikrinite swam atmanam. Lord Shri Krishna says that I sell myself to that devotee just by accepting this palmful of tulsi water. Why? Because bhaktebhyo bhaktavatsala. Because I am very, very affectionate to my devotees. So I will sell myself unto these devotees. Vikrinite swam atmanam bhaktebhyo. Unto devotees I will sell myself just by accepting this palmful of tulsi water, tulsi dal. Why? Because I am bhaktavatsala. Krishna says, because I am very, very affectionate towards my devotees. So Sri Krishna, who is very affectionate towards his devotees, sells himself to a devotee who offers him merely a tulsi leaf and palm full of water. So this way, when Advaitacharya came across this verse, he thought that now is the time. Let me offer this water with tulsi leaf unto Lord Shri Krishna. He has his Narsimha Shaligram Shila, and he said, I will offer it. And thinking of the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, every day our Advaitacharya would sit on the bank of river Ganga, and day and night he will offer the tulsi buds and mixed with water, he'll offer it. And that water is the water of river Ganga. Normally, with the worship of Shaligram Shila is that you bathe Shaligram Shila once and that's it, that's the service. But our Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, day and night, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya writes, Hunkara, that with Hunkar, with a loud, I want to show that verse. I'll just give me a minute. I'll stop share here because that's a very beautiful verse by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. It's a composition. It says, Hunkara Garjanadi. It says that how Shaligram Shila was worshipped by Advaitacharya. हुंकार गर्जनादि अहोरात्र सद्गुणाम हा कृष्ण राधिकनाथ प्रार्थनादि भावनम धूप दीप कस्तूरी च चंद्रनादि लेपनम सीतनाथ द्वैत चरण रविंद भावनम. So Hunkara, he will be roaring like a lion, Advaitacharya, Garjan. Roaring like a lion, like a thunder. Garjan means the garajna, like the clouds when they collapse, come together and they make this sound, the garjan, thunder. And he will huhunkar, he will call upon the Supreme Lord. When ahoratri means in the morning and in the night, means 24 hours he will call. And how he will call? Ha Krishna, O Krishna, Radhikanath, O Radhikanath, please come, please accept my prarthana. And he will offer dhup, deepa, kasturi and chandra adi lepanam. And he will do lepanam, he'll apply that sandalwood paste to his Shaligram Shila and he will offer some dhup, deep. Sitanath Advaita Charana Aravinda Bhavana. So this way our Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he writes this Advaita Ashtakam, very, very beautiful. Anyway, coming back to our PowerPoint. So this way, it's been explained that how when Advaitacharya came across this verse, he says, now is the time. I will call upon, I will appeal to Lord Shri Krishna with my huhunkar, and I will make possible for Lord Shri Krishna to appear. And even in Chaitanya Bhagavat also, in Antya Khanda only, it's been explained that when Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu met Advaitacharya, he called upon Advaitacharya and he said, Shayane achilu shira sagara bhitare, nidra bhanga haila mora nadara hunkare. Oh Nada, he used to call him as Nada. He says, oh Nada, you are the one who broke my sleep. I was very peacefully sleeping in Shira Sagar. Shayane achilu shira sagara bhitare. I was very easily sleeping in that Shir Sagar. Nidra bhanga haila. And you broke my sleep. Oh Nada, Nada hunkare. And this way he was calling out to Nada and saying that you are the one who broke my sleep. And you called upon me. So this was the second external reason for Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu is the call of a devotee of like Advaitacharya. Chaitanyara avatare ei mukhya hetu bhaktera ichhaya avatare dharma setu. Therefore, the principal reason for Śrī Caitanya's descent is this appeal by Advaitacharya because he called him. He roared like a lion and he called upon to Lord Shri Krishna, Hey Krishna, Radhikanath, please come and appear in Navadvip to destroy all the demoniac mentality that the Navadvip Vasis have and establish and make them understand the significance of pure devotional service. Bhaktera Ichhaya Avatare Dharma Setu. The Lord who is the protector of religion, he is Dharma Setu. He appears by the desire of his devotees. So in this verse, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, with the help of this verse that was originally composed by Srila Rupa Goswami, he quotes this verse he compiles this verse in one of the Mangalacharan verse of Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, and he says that this verse describes the two external reasons for Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. First is, you can take any of the first. Here he's saying this is the principal reason. So this can be the first, that on the descent and the call of Advaita Acharya, Mahaprabhu descend. And second is to establish Yoga Dharma as Sankirtan Yagna. So this is the fourth Mangalacharan, which is also known as Ashirvadatmika. So we saw that there are three types of Mangalacharan. In the very first class we saw Ashirvadatmika, Vastu Nirdesh. So this is Ashirvadatmika, where the author is giving benediction, that whosoever recites this verse will get this benediction. And what benediction we get? Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuratu va Sachinandana. That when we recite this verse, then she Sachinandana, the son of Mother Shachi, will recite always, Sada, will always recite in the caves of our heart. So here he's saying, may the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Sachi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost court of your heart. Srila Rupa Goswami saying, Vah Sachinandana, resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, Purata, he has descended in the age of Kali, Karunavatirna Kalau, by his causeless mercy, to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before, the most elevated mellow of devotional service, Unnatujvala Rasa, the mellow of conjugal love. So we'll recite again, and while reciting, we will see that we have covered each and every word of this verse. Anarpita charim chirat karunavatirna kalau samarpaytamunnatujvala rasam svabhakti shriyam hari purata sundara dviti kadamba sandipita sada hridaya kandare spuratuva Sachinandana. Very, very beautiful verse. And then Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Chaturte shlokera artha haila shuni chite avatirna haila gaura prema prakashite. Thus I have surely determined the meaning of the fourth verse. And Lord Gauranga, Lord Chaitanya, appeared as an incarnation to preach unalloyed love of God, to give premadhan to each and every one of us. And he ends this chapter with his celebrated verse, Śrī Rupa Raghunatha Pade Jara Asha Caitanya-caritāmṛta kahe Krishna Dasa, praying at the lotus feet of Śrī Rupa and Raghunath, always desiring their mercy. I, Krishna Das, narrate Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, following in their footsteps. So with this, we will end our session. Thank you all so much. So we covered the 4 Mangalacharan verses, and we have covered the 3 chapters of Adi Lila. Next Monday and Tuesday, for those who are in India, we will start with the 5th Mangalacharan verse, and will be chapter number 4. So thank you all so much. Thank you for engaging me in this wonderful service of studying Caitanya-caritāmṛta and sharing this with all of you. Really, really grateful to each and every one of you. Your association is what that inspires me to study and take up these sessions. So really grateful to all of you. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All the assembled Vaishnavas ki jai. Thank you.
Mataji, can we
Yes.
ask one question, Mataji?
Yes, please.
Mataji, every time this is Mangalacharan, it is told by somebody else. For example, today we thought that it is told by Rupa Goswami. Every chapter.
Not every Mangalacharan. Mangalacharan normally is being authored by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami himself, but in this verse he has taken it from Srila Rupa Goswami.
Mataji, excellent class, Mataji. Just got stuck everywhere. We couldn't express the feelings. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, Sunil.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, go ahead, Sunil Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dhanat Pranam. Thank you so much, Mataji. So beautiful class. Mata, just want to ask regarding that Mahaprabhu name. Is it Gaur name or Mukhya name? Mahaprabhu, just that name.
Mahaprabhu is a Gauna, secondary name, because there are so many Mahaprabhus.
How many?
Yeah, like when we are in our, you see, if we see our Gaudiya Sampradaya, then we call Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Mahaprabhu. If we see the Haridasi Sampradaya, they'll call Haridas as Mahaprabhu. And if we see Radha Vallabha Sampradaya, they'll call Harivansh Mahaprabhu as Mahaprabhu. So this Mahaprabhu, we can say, for us, for Gaudiyas, it can be our Mukhya now that we are calling out to Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. But in general, it's a Gauna, it's a secondary name.
Okay, and regarding Nimai, Nimai is Mukhya name.
Nimai is Mukhya name. That was personally given by Sita Thakurani because he was born under a name tree.
And Chaitanya, that is given by Keshav Bharati.
Yeah, Chaitanya is also a Mukhya name.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. And if you have time, can you sing that Advaita Ashtakam? If possible.
The entire Advaita Ashtakam.
Yes.
I can sing just 2 verses, Prabhu, because definitely I don't want others, because everybody will be hold on to
fine.
this class, which I don't want. Because for India, it's morning, people have their japa, and for US devotees, they have to wind up. So definitely not the entire, but 2 verses I can sing. ओंकार गर्जनादि अहोरात्र सद्गुण हा कृष्णा राधिका नाथ प्रार्थनादि भावनम धूप दीप कस्तूरी च चंद्रनादिलेपनम सीतानाथ द्वैत चरणरविन्दाभावनं गंगावारि मनोहारि तुलस्यादि मंजरी कृष्ण ज्ञान सदा ध्यान प्रेम वारि झरझरे कृपाब्धि करुणनाथ भविष्यति प्रार्थनम सीतानाथ द्वैतचार्य सीतानाथ द्वैत चरणरविन्दाभावनम. So Gangavari Manohari, see on the banks of river Ganga with Tulsiadi Manjari, he is worshipping his Shaligram Shila. Krishna Jnana Sada Dhyan, he is always remembering Krishna. And Premavari Jharjari, and the tears are flowing, the tears of love are flowing from his eyes. Kripati Karunanath Bhavishyati Prarthanam. He is praying that, oh Karunanath, please appear. Sitanath Advaita Charana Ravinda Bhavanam. So our Sarup Damodar Goswami is praying that I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Śrī Advaitacharya, who is Sitanath, who is the Nath of Sita Thakurani. His wife was Sita Thakurani. So he's saying, I bow down to Śrī Advaitacharya, who is Sitanath. So thank you once again, all of you. So we can stop here. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
Yeah.
Sunil Prabhu, if you are really keen to hear this entire bhajan, you can put it on YouTube. Advaita Ashtakam by Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. And I guarantee you that when he sings, it really melts your heart. So please hear from his lotus mouth.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So grateful.
Thank you. Thank you, dear devotees. See you all next Monday, Tuesday for those who are in India. Hari Bol, ending the call.